So now, okay, so let's take a look in the posting article. Actually, I guess there's two things here. Let's go back to first. I showed you some of the basics about it, is that you can schedule it. You could have one that's just posted and just sort of save it for yourself. Um, and there's a feature that you can actually create your own RSS feed, but that's an advanced thing I'm not going to cover. It's also a sort of a 2.0 feature that has not been fully tested. So what I can do is I can pick a target. I can push something into the future. So if I want to do this on the 25th, and I'm going to pick that guy, slots I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to get a couple of these just so we've got a few here. And then same thing, and let's do it again on 7:30. So, and I'm going to post that. And now you can see where those were showing up. If I go to my schedule, I can see, oh, this is what's, there you go. So, oh, because I already marked these as posted. So these are actually going to be, I'm just sort of storing these out right now. These have not actually been posted. I should have scheduled these. That was my mistake. So I can go in with each of those. I can repost it. So if I do a repost, it's just like a duplicate. So it's going to come in with the original information. I can and schedule it, and then I can give it, some date in the far future or in the future. So if I do that and post it, I'm going to post it somewhere. So if I post it here, post it, now it's going to show up. There's that August one. So that shows up in there. If I go to my schedule, I can see where now, because that has not been posted, I can go in, I can take a look at it, and I can actually remove it because it has not been posted. Now, the other thing in a post is there's this little slots thing. And this allows you to do time slots ahead of sort of to set up your own social schedule. So I could say every Monday at, let's say 8 a.m., I'm going to post, and I'm going to tie this to a specific target. So on this target I created, I want to have Monday at 8, Monday at, let's say 10. And let's see, I'm going to assume this is still working because I think it just didn't refresh on me. So now if I look at my time slots, oh, it's not coming out right. So let me see, what did I do? I may have broken something. Make sure I got this right. No, Valentine. Something's not right on this. Let me try it on a different one. I may have just found a bug. Okay, let me log out and go to a regular one where I have some. I'll just skip ahead to this. So now this one, so I've come through and I've got all of these different slots that I've created. You can see, so I've got posting to different targets on a Sunday, a Monday. Oh, and that's where it is. So that thing was giving, yeah, so it came into the wrong slot. So there's a little bug there that it was posting, it was adding the queue to the wrong place. But what I can do is I can come in and create new ones. So let's do Sunday at, I don't know, 2 in the afternoon. I'm going to post to one of these. And I'm going to see here that just showed up. Now, what I have from let me delete a couple of those. I can delete them, and so they won't show up. Let's get rid of that and that because I already had those. Let's get rid of that. So 7, 11, and note that I can make it doesn't have to be like a set time particularly. And then what happens when I go in and do a post, whoops. Well, here's, let me go to an article and just post something real quick. Let's see. So if I do, let's pick something, let's go something off of, let's do smashing. So here we go. I like this guy. So if I'm going to do a post, now what I can do here is I can pick a slot and it's going to set the time for me. So let's say I wanted to do, I'm going to post this as LinkedIn Tuesday at 10 o'clock. I'm going to use that slot. So now what it did is there's where the slot is. This is the next Tuesday. Currently it is Saturday the 19th. So it's going to just jump ahead. And right now it's only a week ahead. So you can do it for the week ahead. And that's a quick way to set a time. I can give it the target and post it. And now I'm off and running. So LinkedIn on Tuesday, if I go look at my schedule, I'm going to see, what was that? The one that was smashing. There we go. So I can see here, although this is sort of small, let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. So here's where I have that scheduled out. And if I look to the detailed history, I can see really not a whole lot to it. If I look at, gosh, go away. If I go to, let's go here. I think I had on history. Where did I put my history? Oh, activity. Here we go. So this is an older account. So I can see stuff all the way back. What have I done? Now I can go back and say, well, what did I do with this article, for example? And I can look at the history. I can see this thing. I posted it on October 8th at 9:16 to 3 different places. I went to Twitter. Looks like it went there 3 times. I must have been testing something. Now, even though, and this is actually, I broke this account out. So this is a target currently that doesn't exist, but I have it for historical purposes. Developing Twitter, I'm not actually posting that these days. But I could still turn around and do a repost, and it's going to give me the original article stuff I had. Like here, for example, I did a little hashtag AWS that I threw in there. And now it's scheduled for essentially, today. I can schedule it out. I can pick a slot, which just doesn't have any right now. And I can go off and running. So that's an interesting little thing, is that the repost doesn't have slots. But I also can still go back from here on the history. I can see where the prior post was. And this is almost getting a little bit unreadable because I'm blowing the text up so big. But now I can get back to, I'm sorry, I didn't want to drag and drop, but I can see the original article. And if I wanted, and like you can see here, the content's pretty thorough. This is one, I think this was from Developer. Is that what it was? No, this is from AWS. So AWS Feed Burner. So this is Amazon's Feed Burner, and they've got even including like videos embedded. All this stuff is in the article itself. Or I can jump back to the original here, which I'm either going to click on the link, or I think it's down at the bottom. It wasn't. Oh, I don't have the original link necessarily built in here, but I can take that and let's see if it still exists. And it does. And so you see where it's, this thing's, although it was from a while back, we can still see roughly, like I said, theirs is going to be formatted a little bit differently, but we'll probably see the video. There you go, video down at the bottom. And so you can actually go back and see something that even if you weren't, even if you signed up today and registered, you'd be able to go back and see some of these older articles. So it's a great way to come back and see what was out there. And also to track, I use it also, it's a great way to track as a repository for information, track stuff that maybe gets rolled off of a site. This is actually very useful, particularly if you wanted to do something like a link to maybe a software version or something like that, maybe that stuff sort of falls off the site, but the link is still there. Or instructions that sometimes get updated over time. For example, let's say you've got an article on Java that's an older instructional article. You want to keep it, even though it, over time, it's obviously going to disappear as new versions come out. You can have that stuff out there. So it's, again, like I said, it is a 1.0 version of an interface, but it's something I've started to use. I use actually regularly now. It is, if you go here, I don't know how well you can see it, but it is, get some of this background crap out of the way. is you can actually do it on a phone as well. So I could come in, and I do on a regular basis. So I can come in, I can take a look at articles, and I can go through, and I can read them or mark them as read. And it's going to give you the same kind of an experience. So it is a great way to have a reader that's available to you wherever you want to read articles, and handle some of your social networking kinds of stuff. Let's jump back to the presentation. So as a wrapping up sort of what we've learned. So the Reader and Promoter is, hopefully you've seen that it's a simple tool for reading articles. That is while you can post, the nicest thing about it I found so far, and the thing that I've really focused on streamlining, is the ability to subscribe to a feed, see the latest articles, mark them as read, share them, store them off however you need to, so you can actually keep up with stuff that's out there. Along with that, it is nice to have the the ability to look at feeds and find feeds that maybe you don't use. So you can, like now I don't subscribe to TechCrunch, but maybe I decide I want to. And so now it's going to show up next time around. Let's see if it's run yet. It probably hasn't. Oh, it has. So TechCrunch has already run and pulled in, 20 articles. And it does go back, like this is not going to pull, it doesn't pull starting from like the moment you create the feed. It's whatever is available on the feed, which is usually maybe sometimes a day or two back. It depends on what it is. This one goes back a couple of days. So now I can see, some articles that are out there, and some of them you're going to see this. Others you're going to see. Oh, I don't have portable apps. That sometimes has a little more fun stuff to it. But now I can, take a look at those articles and add that to my list. Particularly if I go to all. Now I'm subscribed to a lot of feeds, but you see here, I've got literally, I literally probably have 1,000 articles that I could go through if I wanted to. But a lot of this, like for example here, I don't care about, say, the Clippers eliminating the Jazz. I can crank through some of this stuff very quickly as I want to, and or focus on specific articles. Like I said, more coming, as particularly with filtering and searching as we move forward, and it is open to suggestions and requests. So as people start to use it and they have their own needs and benefits to it, then we'll add those in. You can use the posting feature to speed your shares on social sites. Currently, there's very limited sites that it works with. Facebook just changed their stuff, so it does not work with. It worked well with Facebook up until about 2 months ago. They changed their API, as they do. And currently it's broken, and I'm not sure if I'm going to chase that down or not. And I'm not sure whether that will impact trying to go to like an Instagram, but there are other sites out there. And so that is, part of the roadmap, is to periodically add new sites and expand the ability of what you can actually post to. As I said, the bonus, adding feeds for others. So you can find feeds that are out there without having to do searches, Google searches for RSS feeds. And then you can also provide feeds for others. For example, I highly recommend, and if you have a site, if you've got a blog, throw yours out there. Others may subscribe to it, and you get your readership up. As I mentioned, it's set up so that you can email info@developernoir.com for any bugs or feature requests. And that'll be, take those on as we can, because this will be definitely a work in progress, and being one of those things that is a scratch your own itch, since something that I use on a regular basis. There will constantly, and there are steady changes and updates to it that are made available. That being said, questions and comments?
So can this be used as a marketing tool?
As a marketing tool?
No, can it be used as a marketing tool?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you can definitely use it because you can, as you've seen with this one, that's one of the things that I do is, like, for example, if I go back and look at, like, I've got Developaneur. So this site, I've got all of the stuff that's coming through on Developaneur, and I can easily say, hey, I just put this thing out. And that's a lot of my history is, if I go look for Developaneur, yeah. So there's a, I have to spell it right. There we go. And so there's, and the sources are here. So I can see all of these little places where I have posted my articles out to different places. So for example, here's a developer article. This went out to my Twitter and LinkedIn. And it's, like I said, again, it's an easy way to do so. So I can schedule that out to any of my social places. And definitely from a marketing point of view, I can share not only articles that I've written and my own content, but things that I find useful that whatever my platform is, followers may likely will find those useful as well.